Okay, so here we are in front of the Stranger Things pop-up store at Oak Brook Mall in Oak Brook, Illinois. We're about to go in and see what's inside. There's supposed to be lots of really cool stuff to experience, cool stuff to see, cool stuff to get your picture taken from, and a lot of cool exclusive merch here at the Stranger Things store, which is open until the end of the month. So we're gonna go check it out, we're gonna bring you with us, and then we're gonna come back and we're gonna tell you what we think, and we're gonna show you what we got. Okay, so we just got back from the Stranger Things pop-up store slash experience over at the Oak Brook Mall. Again, that's in Oak Brook, Illinois. So if you are in the Chicagoland area, you can check it out. It's going to be there till the end of the month. So you do have to hurry. It's limited time and all. It's really, I think from the time I'm publishing this, maybe only about a week and a half, 2 weeks left, roughly. Is that about right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So we went over there to check it out. Now you can just show up. They were letting a lot of people in that just showed up. But if they were, I guess if they had reached their capacity and you just showed up and didn't have an appointment, you would have had to wait outside in the line. They had like stanchions, right? But we had an appointment, but there really wasn't anybody waiting. Like they were letting, and I mean it was fairly crowded in there. So like I don't know at what point they would be reaching their capacity. So it's probably okay to just show up. But be aware that if it is busy when you just show up, they may have you wait.
Yeah, but you could just go to the website and it's free, just to make an appointment.
Just to make an appointment, yeah. So we had one. We booked an appointment, so they just scanned our little QR codes and we went in. Now you saw some video of us going around in there. So inside, it was broken up into a handful of rooms, and the rooms all most of the rooms had a kind of set piece that you could do a photo op with. Like there was Joyce's living room.
Yeah, you walk in and it's Joyce's living room. There's a TV and the couch with the Christmas lights on the wall and the letters of the alphabet.
And the old phone. There's the old. There were a bunch. It was funny. There was a bunch of Zoomers messing around with the phone because they had never seen a wall phone and thought it was really funny to take their picture with the phone. We didn't get our pictures with the phone because we grew up with wall phones, so it was not that was not a novelty for us. So, but I did like that. I did get my picture on the couch. There was a room that was an arcade, and they had a bunch of. It was
the Palace Arcade.
Yes, which of course was in season 2, and then it had a bunch of '80s arcade games, and you were playing some Centipede, right?
Yeah, they were all free to play, so you just had to press how many players.
Yeah.
No, it was how many players.
Oh, you just press players and it would just go. So they were all on free play. That was really cool. I like that they had that. We didn't have time to really be playing a lot of games. Lynn played a little Centipede. I was just mainly filming and looking at them. It was a bit crowded in there to be hanging out and playing games, but it was cool that was in an interactive part of the exhibit kind of. Then they had some stuff from the Russian base, like there was that big module thing, and there was stuff on the wall. There was a photo op to take with bicycles, with the red clouds and stuff in the background. There was a photo op from what else was there? Oh, there was the store was made to look like the ice cream shop, right?
No, well the store just had the mall. It was like the Star something.
The mall from season 3.
Yeah, and
then what were
there was you walk through the base.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out at Hawkins High. There were lockers and.
What was the Hawkins High photo op? There was some glittery stuff. Was it a prom thing?
Oh, it was the snowball.
Oh right, because that was the.
That was the previous season.
That was the bit when Dustin danced with Nancy. I forgot about that. Yeah, and then they had a photo op with the Demogorgon coming through the wall, which was my favorite. That was really cool. So okay, merchandise wise, because I mean, okay, you've got a bunch of photo ops. It's set up it's really cool looking. Each of the rooms in there, and they were separated into different rooms, were different themes. You had one that was the mall, and they had merchandise that was based on the mall, the ice cream shop, and the roller rink from the current season. They had roller rink stuff.
They had roller rink stuff and the pizza, the Surf's Up pizza.
Oh yeah, from the current season.
And then there was a T-shirt for a burger place. I'm I don't remember a burger place unless it was a random place in the mall that.
It might have been. I'm not sure. Yeah. Well, there was a lot of little things that you really do have to pay a lot of attention to actually get what the reference is. Mm-hmm. Which is they said some of the stuff was exclusive merch that was stuff you're not going to find anywhere else, because a lot of these were deep dive kind of merch, which was sort of cool.
Well, I saw over in the mall stuff, in that little corner. They had a Stranger Things eyeshadow palette and waffle flavored lip balm and like things like that.
Yeah. They had a lot of Stranger Things merch. They had T-shirts, they had clothes, hats. They had, all sorts of stuff with the characters. They also had, they had magnets, keychains, toys, action figures,
candy,
little video games. They had a bunch, in addition to all the Stranger Things merch, though, they just had a bunch of nostalgic stuff. Like they were selling Slinkies. They were selling Pop Rocks.
Light Brights.
Well, the Light Brights were Stranger Things themed, though. It was
okay,
good because of how they used the Light Brights this season.
Yeah.
So they actually, because, they have rebranded a lot of nostalgic things, Stranger Things. Like a year or two ago, they did a Stranger Things edition of a Dungeons and Dragons starter set box. That wasn't there. I think that might be out of print right now. But that's an example of how they are rebranding nostalgic things, Stranger Things. But they just had things that weren't rebranded. That were just nostalgic. What?
Didn't they? What was the thing with the?
Oh yeah, the ViewMaster.
ViewMaster. I had one, and I literally can never remember what it's called. I'm always like the thing with the.
I had so many of the ViewMaster discs too. I had so many of them when I was a kid. They had like a bunch of cereals. They had like
it was like limited edition Stranger Thing boxes cereals. Yes. So there was like Cheerios,
Lucky Charms,
Fruit Loops, and it just had like Stranger Things stuff on the boxes.
Like there was fake Cyrillic on the Cheerios one.
Faux-rillic.
Yeah, so you could still see it was.
It was really bad. It was literally just backwards Cheerios. It was like a mirror. It wasn't even.
Yeah, it was, but it was made to look kind of like it was supposed to be Cyrillic, but you could still see that it was Cheerios. So there was a bunch of, like I said, bunch of Stranger Things merch, and then also though just a bunch of nostalgic merch because like I said, they had Pop Rocks. It wasn't Stranger Things themed Pop Rocks. It was just Pop Rocks, and that's kind of cool for people who were alive in the 80s. Even though this is, you can probably still find Pop Rocks around. Obviously, they're still making it. But it was just, it was a very nostalgic thing. I almost bought some, and Lynn was like, "You don't need to get Pop Rocks. You can buy Pop Rocks."
If they had Fun Dip, I would have allowed that.
Does that even still exist? Is Fun Dip still a thing?
Probably not. That's why they didn't have it.
Yeah, we were talking about like old candies while we were looking at some of the old candies that still exist, and thinking they should have found a way to like resurrect things like Fun Dip and Charleston Chew, candies from the 80s that I haven't seen in decades. I don't know if they still make either one of those anymore. Or Now and Laters. You remember Now and Laters?
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen a Now and Later in like 30 years. Anyway, so we were talking about like, while we were looking at this.
You enunciate that really, really well.
What? Now and Later?
Now-laters. That's what I... Now-laters. I've never...
It's Now and Laters.
I know how it's spelled and what it means, but I've never heard someone actually enunciate all the words.
Comment down below if you remember and are nostalgic for either Fun Dip, Charleston Chews, or Now and Laters, because I'm very nostalgic for all those things. Okay, so then we bought some stuff. Now the prices were
expensive,
a bit expensive, but a lot of it was very exclusive merch, so that is cool. Not all the prices were expensive; some of them were pretty on par. So I got one T-shirt. I wanted to get a second one, but they didn't have it in a size that would be. That I'd be sure would be, nice and comfy for me. But I got a Hellfire Club T-shirt because when we were on the way, what did I say in the car?
You said you want a Hellfire Club T-shirt.
I was like, if they have Hellfire Club T-shirts, I am getting a Hellfire Club T-shirt, and I love this. This is really cool. It's a long sleeve like baseball tee, and it looks just like the ones in the show. This is exactly how they looked, and I am very happy with this. I haven't tried it on yet, but it looks great. You got one thing. Why don't you show your one? One little thing.
I just got a little mask that says Ahoy from like it was the ice cream shop theme thing.
Yes.
I needed a new one because one of mine, the nose thing broke.
Lynn was being a little grumpy because of the prices of stuff. She was looking at things and like, oh, that's too expensive. Yeah. You're so cheap though. But
no, there was a set of 3 scrunchies for $25.
You were gonna buy it until you saw they were $25.
I was like, this is no.
But and then I got the soundtrack for season 3 on vinyl of Stranger Things, and they didn't have season 4 soundtrack out yet, which I'm a little surprised. I thought they would have had that like ready to go because they've been selling a lot of the soundtracks for the various seasons. I have the season 1 and 2 single album of on vinyl already, so now I have season 3. I just need season 4 to complete my collection up to date. Though of course they are doing 5 seasons. So all right. So my bottom line takeaway, it was just a really cool atmosphere. Like I really liked all like the big statue of the the Demogorgon coming through the wall and and the lockers and the whole school theme in the one area and just all of the Joyce's living room, all of the cool sets that you had that you could take pictures in was really cool. What did you think of the atmosphere and the sets and all?
Yeah, I thought I would have liked the mall part to be. The mall part was like the cash wrap, so it's like you couldn't really like take a lot of like pictures or anything over there.
Yeah.
I would have liked the mall part to be its own thing or more open or something.
You would have liked them to be more of a mall.
More. That's just me though.
I really liked the arcade, and I liked that the arcade machines were on free play and you could play games. And they had a couple of like hollowed out old arcade machines that were selling clothing in them. They had like a sweatshirt in one and a t-shirt in another. They were used as displays for the clothes, which is really cool. Now there's a lot of Stranger Things merch. Like the record was normal price. This one was it was $29.98, but it's a double album, so $30 is normal for a double record. There's 2 records in here.
Okay.
So that's pretty on par. Some of the shirts were a bit expensive though. Like this, the baseball shirt I got was $39.99. I don't know, $40 seems a little high for a baseball tee. But you know what? It's cool and I like it, and it's okay to get one. I would have gotten a second one, but there was another one, like I said, they didn't have it in my size, so I didn't bother. But also, I just really got a kick out of all the various, just general nostalgic stuff. Like they were selling little mini arcade machines of Tetris.
Yeah, they were selling like tube socks and...
Yeah. Oh, I used to love tube socks back. That's all I wore in the 80s.
The white ones with this stupid little stripe on the
That's
top.
all I wore. That's all I wore in the entire decade of the 1980s was tube socks.
I would wear the slouchy socks because you had to have like the Reeboks, and then you had to have the slouchy socks.
So I love the tube socks because...
Or like the British Knights.
When I was... I had British Knights. I had British... Do those exist anymore?
The slouchy socks.
I don't even know if British Knights are a thing anymore.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I had tube socks, and I liked them because you didn't have to line up the heel. You just pulled them on. Just pulled on the tube socks. But yeah, so they sold a bunch of just general nostalgic stuff. So like the show, it was a buffet of nostalgia for people who were alive in the 80s, which was really cool. And then also had a lot of great Stranger Things themed merch, as well as the great photo ops, which was really cool. So my general consensus is, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, and or if you were alive in the 80s and love nostalgic stuff, I would recommend checking it out. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you're a fan of the show, I think it's worth it. I mean, it's free. It's a store. You don't need to buy anything.
I'm sad that it's only going to be here for such a limited time. But they're talking about doing another, like, bigger Stranger Things experience. And right now they're only set up to do one in New York and San Fran in the United States. But they're saying they might do other cities. And I went on the site and voted for Chicago to be a city they put it in. Because I would love to see that. If they did another bigger experience, would be really, really cool. But I really liked it. So I would recommend getting over there to the Oak Brook Mall before it closes at the end of the month, if you are a big fan of Stranger Things, for sure. Or keep an eye out for when they do their future experiences, because this may not be the only time they do it. They're talking about they called this one the Stranger Things pop-up store. There's a future one they want to do that they want to call the Stranger Things experience. So I don't know if that means it's going to be more involved. They're kind of being a little tight-lipped at the moment about exactly what that's going to entail. But there you go. Feel free to comment down below. Let us know what you thought of the video. And if you enjoyed us doing a video like this on the channel, be sure to give it a like, share it on all forms of social media. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.